Well, the first Oxygen Express train is arriving in Bengaluru. Karnataka, of course, receives its first Oxygen Express. The Oxygen Express has left from Jamshedpur. Yesterday it left, and it was expected to reach the island container depot of the Container Corporation of India in Whitefield in Bengaluru. Now, the Indian Railways has said that this is the first Oxygen Express that is being sent to Karnataka, and it is carrying 6 cryogenic containers, a total of 120 tons of oxygen. Do remember that Bengaluru is in the grips of a crisis situation with a large number of cases being reported each single day of coronavirus. This Oxygen Express, of course, is the first of this sort that has been sent to Karnataka. Sage Raj is joining me live right now. Sage, give us more details of what's happening.
Right now is the first cryogenic Oxygen Express which has reached Karnataka, and this is a train which has carrying the oxygen from Jamshedpur and had just reached the बोल रहा हूँ.
All right,
this is the first
Karnataka, of course, is
Oxygen Express which has reached Karnataka, which is carrying liquid medical oxygen in each container. The oxygen container which has reached Bengaluru, and this was loaded from Jamshedpur, and the train had started from Jamshedpur yesterday morning around 3 a.m. and there was a green corridor which was facilitated for this train, where none of the trains were allowed on the same track when this train was traveling towards Bengaluru. You can see this is a 6 containers which has 20 tons of medical liquid oxygen. Bengaluru have acute shortage of oxygen. Yesterday, the Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has confirmed that they are sending 6 containers of 20 tons of oxygen, and it has reached now and at inland port in Whitefield. And this oxygen will be supplied to all the government and private hospital which is much need of oxygen. This train started yesterday around 3 a.m. from Jamshedpur, where the entire track was given a green corridor, and it has reached Bengaluru now. And you can see all the inspection is being done, and after that it will be shifted to a container lorry and shifted across to the city. It is a big relief for Karnataka, which was facing a oxygen shortage, and this oxygen will help lot of patients. Remember, 120 tons of oxygen which has been sent to Karnataka in 6 containers.
Right, of course, Sage Raj, as you're pointing out over there, this is extremely critical supply that's coming in from Bengaluru as Bengaluru continues to struggle with oxygen supply. Sage Raj, earlier you were telling us about the fact that there was a green corridor that was created for this train. Give us more details on that.
There is an emergency situation, whenever there is a patient which requires some kind of medical attention, and if they're required to reach a hospital in less than time which is being scheduled, that's when the police or the authorities give a green corridor. A similar kind of green corridor was given to this particular train when it started from Jamshedpur. So whenever a train passes, there is a pause for at least 20 to 30 minutes in each railway station, because one more train had to cross through. But for this train, there was a complete green corridor. None of the train was allowed on the track. This train was exclusively allowed to travel to Bengaluru without any hassle, without any problem, without any pause or without any break in between. It directly started from Jamshedpur and immediately reached Bengaluru. Considering the requirement and considering the kind of emergency situation the state is reeling through from past few days due to oxygen shortage, there were several ministers. We need to appreciate the kind of coordination between the state and central government. when it comes to Union Minister who have addressed the acute shortage of oxygen in the state, and immediately the central government have responded, and you can see cryogenic medical liquid oxygen has been sent to Karnataka to address the acute shortage of oxygen, and all these containers will be dispersed across the district, across the city, to all the government and private hospitals, which will be a big relief for the people as well as the patients who are facing oxygen shortage across the city and state. So you can see over here, this is a huge vehicle which is transporting all these containers, which will be shifted to bigger vehicles, and that will be taking all these containers across the city and state and supplying to all the private and government hospital. This is a major relief for Karnataka. Remember, several union ministers had appraised after a tragedy which was reported in Chamarajanagar, where 24 people died due to acute shortage of oxygen in that government hospital. And subsequently, central government understood the requirement of oxygen supply in the state of Karnataka, and subsequently they had approved oxygen supply, and now we have nearly 120 ton of liquid medical oxygen to the state of Karnataka, which will be a relief for the people here in the state. Back to you.
Absolutely, Sagai Raj, as you're pointing out, this will come as a huge relief to the people in the state of Karnataka. Some of it, of course, will be kept in Bengaluru, which continues to reel with severe oxygen shortages. For the moment, Sagai Raj, thank you very much for joining us. And here's a look at some more news in brief now.